Hi everyone, it's Kara, and most of you are going to probably be familiar with this little book that you see in front of you. I've showed it to you before. It is the Hobonihi Weeks that I'm using for the year 2019. I wanted to talk to you today about an option that is similar to the weeks, and part of the reason that I want to mention it to you is because in the beginning of September, which is just a few weeks away, the new Hobonihis for 2020 will be released, and in fact, they are already showing sneak peeks for those of you who are interested. You should check out the Hobonihi account on Instagram and their site because they're showing little teeny snippets of various things. And this other option also recently became available. It is this hardback or hardbound planner by Print Pression. Now, if you go to the website, which I will link down below, you will see that it's currently sold out, but it is supposed to be restocked sometime during the month of August. I'm assuming the same colors will be released, but maybe there'll be different ones. The initial colors were this pink and a gray and a black, so those were your options. So sometime this month that should be available again. I do want to point out that this particular planner from Print Pressions is slightly larger, or longer, if you will, than the Hobonihi Weeks. So if you have the plastic cover on cover for the Hobonihi Weeks, it may not fit this one, or it may be a very, very snug fit. Now, you can separately purchase a clear cover for this hardbound planner if you would like. This planner from Print Pressions is $19.99. The cover is $5, and then of course you're going to pay for shipping. In comparison, just so you can see it, my Weeks is a regular size Weeks. It's just a little bit bigger because I have some stickers and pictures and things inside it. But I think width-wise, if I kind of smush them together, they're very similar, okay? In looking at them side by side and just kind of comparing the cover, this particular cover is a hardbound cover, but it's got a little bit more give than I would say this one does. This is a much firmer cover. Hopefully you can see that, okay? Then another big thing, which you can even see from the outside, is the color of the paper. The Hobonihi Weeks, as I'm sure you guys are familiar with, has a cream colored interior paper. This has a very white interior paper. Let's do the note page too. Okay, so you can look at that. So obviously very different paper. The grid size is obviously not the same. This is smaller. So for those of you who've had a hard time writing in this one, this might be a better option because the grids are larger. It is obviously not the Tomo River paper in this particular planner. It is a white paper. It's a nice feeling paper. It's pretty smooth to the touch, but I wouldn't say it's super thick paper. I will do some ink tests on it later and share those with you in a later video. I just wanted to get this out for you guys to look at it in case this is something that you would be interested in. Now, it does have other similarities with the Hobonihi Weeks. This one has a monthly calendar, it has a weekly calendar, and it has some note pages, but they are different in appearance aside from the paper. So you guys are, I'm sure, familiar with the Hobonihi, but let me just really quickly show you a blank monthly calendar so you can see that. So there's your blank month, and it's dated. This entire book, if I haven't said it, is undated. Here is the monthly calendar here. So no lines, no grids, no nothing. Okay. And then you have, of course, the weekly layout, which I think, again, most people are familiar with. You have the days on this side, and you have a page for bullet journaling or notes or whatever you want. In here, you have this layout, where you have 4 boxes like this per page. So you basically have the 7 days of the week plus an extra box. That's what you have. And you can put the day of the week and date it. You have that kind of option, and there is space down at the very bottom as well. And then at the very back, you have a few pages for note-taking or lists or whatever. So just to be very specific with the pages included in here, there are 12 monthly pages, there are 52 blank weeks, and 24 grid pages for notes in the back. So That's what's contained in this particular one. Now, I've said many, many times, I'm a huge fan of the Hobonichi Weeks. This is going to continue to be my personal planner. I love it. I like the layout, and I'll continue to use it. This one, however, I think I'm going to be using at least this first one. I might get a second one, but this first one I am going to, I believe, use for a book of kind of, I'm calling it kind of a book of lists or a reference book. Basically, my plan is on the months, I'm going to put the numbers in, but not the days of the week, and then I'll put the month over here, and I'm going to use this for tracking birth dates and anniversaries and other special dates that need to be remembered on a yearly basis, the ones that you would put over and over and over again into a calendar. And then for the weekly pages, I am going to put all of my lists in here in a variety of ways. So for example, I kind of listed out a whole bunch to see if I had a lot of ideas to make this work. But for example, I would put maybe, like if I wanted to put all of my favorite authors in here, maybe I would put authors and maybe it would be mystery, right? So if these are my favorite mystery authors, then I would put the author's name up here and either track the books I've read or the books I want to read or both. And I would do something like that. Maybe I would have a list of down here dinners, and I would do, and I'm making this up as I go, soup, salad, sandwiches, pastas, whatever. So this is going to be just a huge reference book for me. And at the very end, I'm going to use at least a couple of these pages for kind of an index similar to what you would use in a bullet journal, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm going to use this first one for. I have contemplated getting one of these for my work because I basically have a 4-day work week because I work long days. So one side could be my daily to-dos. So I'm thinking about that. I haven't made up my mind because I don't think there's near enough note pages in this, but maybe if I got an insert for notes that was of a similar size, I could just put it in kind of a hybrid cover with a planner and use it that way. So people are getting ready to mow outside. You guys might be hearing that since the window's open. I'm going to try and finish this up, but I do want to mention a couple other things. This does come with bookmarks, just like the Weeks does. When I have it in the Weeks, I cut them out. I don't like them. I'm not convinced I'm going to keep these, so I may get rid of them as well. I don't know if I mentioned it, I can't remember, but you can get that separate, actually I think I did, sorry. You can get that separate cover on cover for the one by Print Pressions. However, there's no pattern, it's just a clear one, which is fine with me. It fits on really snug, not in a bad way, just meaning your book's gonna stay in it. You don't have to worry about it coming out. And it does have a couple little pockets. So there's a little pocket right here to stick something in, and then there's another little one right here, okay? So there's what that looks like. Once again, the Hobonichi Weeks and all the other Hobonichis will be coming out at the beginning of September. I believe they stagger their release on the first, second, and third of the month, which happens to be right around my birthday. And this one is supposed to be back in stock sometime this month in August. So they would both be available if you want one or both of them, like I do. I think I've covered all of the basics. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I will put a link down below to Print Pressions in case you want to check them out. Remember, this is that same shop that I got that really pretty lavender Weeks cover. The cover is very nicely made, and this seems to be pretty decent quality as well, especially when you consider it's $19.99. I mean, I think that's a pretty good deal for a planner that could last you the whole year. So there you go. There's the information that I had to share about the other option to the Hobonichi Weeks. I'm going to be sticking, like I said, with the Hobonichi Weeks, but I think this is going to be a good option for some people. Remember, you can use it for something else just like I'm doing. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. Bye, guys.